Great morning, everyone. Now, somebody was asking me to talk about the Christians that are downing the Muslims and all of that. Now, Christians are not just downing Muslims, they're downing anybody else that's not supposedly their faction of Christianity. Even the Christians fight amongst themselves, the different factions. But anyway, if you have read the Quran at all, you would get a little bit more of the history. Because surprisingly, there's more in there than there is in the Bible. Just a little FYI. Now, it's all a family dispute. It goes all the way back to Abram, who became Abraham, who was married to Sarah. I think sometimes they say Sarai. But Abraham means father of many nations. Okay? He was Abram before, then he became Abraham, father of many nations. Because he was married to his wife and she was not getting pregnant. So she said, well, why don't you have a baby with my handmaiden? So she sent her in to Abram, who became Abraham. She got pregnant, had a baby, and of course at that time then his wife gets pregnant. His wife then had a son. Then her jealousy emerged. And she's telling her husband, look, you need to get rid of her now. I'm not having this woman here with another son, you know. So her jealousy was the cause of Abram to send her. What was her name? Was it Rebecca? I'm so bad with names. But anyway, he sent the handmaiden out into the desert. And they became the Muslim nation. And again, if you read any part of the Quran, you will find out more of the history of Abram, who became Abraham, father of nations, of the Christian and the Muslims. So it's a long time standing family feud. Now the Christians, if they're really genuine Christians, should have nothing to say to other religious persuasions, because there's only one God, only one divine is, which is the creator of all. And I say the different religious persuasions are just different scenery to the same goal, to know God. it's Christian or if it's Muslim, there are a lot of things in the texts, the Old Testament or the Quran, which are made by men to repress people, repress women, etc. I don't care if it's Christian. We've got the white nationalist Christians now, which are becoming that same thing. Women should be barefoot and pregnant. Or whether it's Muslim religion, where it's all the women's fault if they get raped. It's never the man's fault. It's always the woman's fault. And women have to cover themselves from head to toe because men cannot restrain themselves. They're supposed to be men, but they cannot restrain themselves. Those are not men. If you can't restrain yourself, then you're not a man. Okay? It's just that clear. I don't care if a woman were standing there naked in front of you. You should be able to restrain yourself. Look at the Garden of Eden. They were naked. Okay? And nothing came into it about being naked until they started, wanting to have this division. Knowing good from evil, wanting this division. Then all of a sudden this big drama started coming up. Okay? So there's a lot that could be said about the whole dynamic. So again, I don't care if it's the Quran or if it's the Bible, the Old Testament, and the drama. Men are always looking for some way to elevate themselves and make others wrong. Okay? Patriarchy. And it's been that way since the beginning. Of who has the most strength, than the drama. I mean, just a bunch of nonsense that's out there. But if again you read the Bible, it says, judge not lest you be judged. And again, what is judged is the heart and the mind, not your religious persuasion. Like I said, I know a lot of Buddhists, Hindus, Muslims that are more Christian than Christians because they're actually following the way of love, compassion, humanity. I don't give a rat's ass if you're radical Muslim or if you're a radical so-called Christian, because neither of those is actually following the path to light, the path of love, the path of, honoring God and what's been given. So I'll just leave that here. Hopefully that's enough to explain it. Maybe not. Maybe that's not enough for people, but that's my take on it. Okay? That's my take on it. Because you have radicalized Muslims, you have radicalized Christians, and neither of those is following a genuine path of light, awareness, the higher teachings, the higher knowledge. So that's about all that needs to be said on that. So thanks for tuning